single traveler that you bump into on the Southeast Asia backpacking loop will tell you the same thing. Oh my God, you have to do the Ha Giang Loop. Following that, it's normally a few other things like, this is the best travel money I've ever spent, and I made friends that I'm going to keep for a lifetime. After hearing that over and over and over, I figured that there was something to it. So I spent 4 days on the back of a motorbike in northern Vietnam with 40 strangers that I had never met before, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. Before the Ha Giang Loop, I had never been on a motorbike before. The closest that I had come was being on a quad in rural Canada as a child, but those things have 4 wheels. To say I was terrified was an understatement. I had already spent a month in Thailand before I had gotten to Vietnam, and I had refused to get on any grab bikes. If you have been to Southeast Asia, you know that that's the primary way that people get around is on the back of these grab bikes. I refused it. I was too nervous, too scared. On top of that, I had seen countless TikToks of the loop, and it looked beautiful, but horrifying. There was steep inclines, traffic jams, drop-offs, rocky mountain roads, sharp turns. So when day 1 finally rolled around and I met my driver, who didn't speak any English, I got on the back of that bike with nothing but Google Translate and a prayer. Immediately, I was questioning every life decision that I have ever made, but fear has a really fast way of disappearing when you're just in awe. The roads on the first day are incredibly bumpy and very rocky, so I was holding on for dear life. We turn this corner, smooth roads ahead, and the most beautiful, breathtaking, life-changing view I have ever seen comes into view right as the chorus of Purple Rain by Prince came on my headphones. It caught me so off guard, I started to cry. For the first time since getting on that bike, my anxious mind went completely quiet. That mindfulness, that feeling of presence that you experience on the Ha Giang Loop is truly what makes it so special. That moment alone could have made the entire trip worth it. Over the next 4 days, you are surrounded by stacked rice terraces, beautiful mountain passes, viewpoints that stretch on forever, deep canyons, beautiful waterfalls, and rolling green hills. As you pass through tiny villages, kids will come out with their hands out trying to give you a palm-stinging high five. Vietnamese flags fly proudly at every single viewpoint and are often lined up along the road. You can feel the pride that these people have in their country, and honestly, it makes you appreciate it even more. I have traveled to over 40 countries, and it is still some of the most breathtaking, stunning views I have ever seen. Even talking about it now, I have this glowing ball of gratitude in my chest that I got to witness that and experience it. I was probably most nervous about meeting my easy rider because I've heard that it can really make or break the experience, especially as someone who was very anxious to be on the back of a bike. I wanted someone safe, who felt reliable, who wasn't going to speed too much. That's what I was looking for. On night 0, a few of the drivers will come out and get to know the people. I met my driver on day 1, and like I said, I quickly realized he spoke little to no English. So after a few awkward conversations with Google Translate, we kind of just sat in a comfortable silence together, but somehow it really worked. By the last day, we were laughing, hugging, and I was genuinely sad to see him go. I'm convinced I had one of the best riders in the whole fleet. He was an incredible driver. I am not a light packer. I had a very big bag, it was quite heavy, and I felt like he took every turn with caution, but smoothly, with confidence. He handled all of the bumpy roads and steep inclines like it was nothing. Day 1, I was gripping that bike with both hands on the back for dear life. By day 2, I had one hand in the air and one hand on the bike, and by the final day, I had both hands in the air, screaming, having the best time of my life. My favorite moment with my driver happened on the final day. We were all exhausted. It was the final day. We'd been drinking for all the nights prior, and we were all so tired, and they decided that they were going to bring us on a waterfall hike that was very steep. The beginning of the hike was completely downhill, so the whole way down, I'm complaining, like, oh, we're gonna have to hike this all the way back up after. Just not in the mood. I'm already exhausted. We see the waterfall. It's beautiful. We turn around, and lucky me, my driver, one of 3 in the whole fleet, was able to maneuver down that steep decline, pick me up, and then drive me back up to the top. And everyone else had to hike it, and I was so happy. He literally doubled his tip that day. As incredible as the scenery was, it was not my favorite part of the trip. It was the people. I think what makes Mad Monkey so special is how they organize their group. There's 30 to 40 of you in your group, and you all drive together like some sort of weird hungover motorcycle gang. Other companies like Mama's Homestay will break you up into smaller smaller groups. Aussies get put with Aussies, Canadians get put with Canadians, and you get a limited experience because you're grouped together with those small groups of people. With Mad Monkey, everyone got to do everything together. We all stopped at the viewpoints together. We all went for coffee together. We all had lunch together. We saw everything together. Everything was as a group. For me, this was a huge advantage because there was always someone to talk to. I feel like with those smaller groups, if you get a group that you don't click with, you're kind of just stuck with that group for the whole 4 days. With Mad Monkey, out of the 30 to 40 people in your group, you're bound to find at least one person that you get along with. And for me, I found the entire group very easy to get along with. There wasn't a single person in our crew that I didn't like. Instead of hoping that you click with the 9 people that are in your small group, you are not limited to that, and you can talk to the 30 to 40 personalities and get to know every single one. Everyone in our group was incredibly welcoming, and as long as you were willing to put yourself out there, you made friends. If the mountains are why people book the Ha Giang Loop, the nights are why people can't stop talking about it afterwards. Every evening starts with a huge Vietnamese family-style dinner. You all sit down together on this big long table, and you get to say cheers together. I can still hear the chant in my head. Then comes the happy water. It's Vietnamese rice wine, but it tastes like hellfire. That being said, it does create the perfect environment for getting to know people, having fun, laughing, talking about the day with your group. After dinner, everyone drinks, there's karaoke, sometimes you just sit around and have a chat. We were really lucky because we were the first group to go after Tet, which is Vietnamese New Year's, so some Tet celebrations were still going on. So we got to go into the city and there was groups of people chanting and dancing in circles and celebrating and lighting off fireworks. It was just the best time. It really did make an unforgettable experience feel even more special. There's a few things that I wish that people had told me going into the Ha Giang Loop, and one of them is being transparent about how much cash to bring. It is a standard tip to tip your driver about 1 million Vietnamese dong. People very, very often tip more than that if they feel like their driver gave them some kind of special experience. Within my group of friends that I made, we all were tipping 1.5 million for our drivers. On top of that, you're going to need money for souvenirs and for snacks. Both of these things were a daily occurrence. I was on a budget and didn't think that I would be doing much shopping. Sometimes you see something really special that you want to be able to take home. Make sure you have enough cash that you can purchase these things if you want to. That being said, it was Tet for us, so a lot of the ATMs were out of cash or low on cash. So just be prepared. The ATMs are unreliable. Bring enough cash that you have money for the entire time. Your bum is gonna hurt. The first day, the roads are very rocky, very bumpy. It does improve by day 2, 3, 4, but just be prepared for day 1 roads. You are gonna be sore in places that you did not know you were gonna be sore. Don't pack your bag to the brim. Leave room for souvenirs. Be prepared for all weather. Northern Vietnam can go from scorching hot to raining freezing cold within minutes. Make sure that you have layers. I recommend before you go up to Ha Giang to go shopping in Hanoi, where a lot of us bought fake Arc'teryx or some kind of hoodie situation, so that way you have layers and you're prepared for the weather. Bring good sunglasses. The visors on the helmets are very scratched up and you can't see properly through them. You're gonna want a good pair of sunglasses, preferably a bigger pair of sunglasses. Block out all of the dust and dirt that comes at your face when you're driving, so that way you can get a clear view. The wind's not getting in your eyes, dust isn't getting in your eyes, and you're still having a good experience. Bring corded headphones. You do not want to lose your AirPods on the loop like I did. Please make sure you have corded headphones so you can listen to music while you're driving along. It really does improve the whole experience. Would I choose Mad Monkey as the company again? There are upwards of 7 different companies to choose from. We picked Mad Monkey because we thought it would be fun and would have a good atmosphere. I would absolutely choose Mad Monkey for the loop again. I loved the larger group. I loved the route that we took, and it felt like really good value for what we paid for. The food was consistently great. They give you happy water every night, and the first 2 nights that you're on the bikes, you get free beer for a couple hours, so you can easily make your money back if that's what you like to drink. The accommodation is hostel style. The first 3 nights were gorgeous. Comfortable beds, fairly quiet, clean bathrooms, running hot water. The final night was awful. It was disgusting. Electricity cutting in and out, beds on the floor, bugs everywhere. Some of the most disgusting bathrooms I have ever seen in my life. That being said, Mad Monkey doesn't use this accommodation anymore. They've switched providers, so you don't have to worry about coming across this anymore. From a safety perspective, Mad Monkey will offer you protective gear like elbow pads and knee pads on the first day. However, if you don't take them on the first day, you don't have them for the rest of the trip. No one in our group decided to wear them. It's up to you. Some other companies will have them be mandatory. So it is up to you whether you choose to wear the protective gear or or not. The mornings are an early start, especially because you're drinking the night before. If you have noise canceling headphones, make sure that you're charged. I prefer to go to bed between midnight and 1 so that way I could get up for 8 a.m. and having noise canceling headphones made a huge difference in being able to fall asleep. All of that being said, if you're looking for a quiet, more intimate experience and you're not a big partier, I wouldn't recommend Mad Monkey as a crew for you. I think that there's better, smaller groups that you could go with that are a little bit less crazy. I'm 28 and I was on the older side of the people that had joined our crew. The oldest person was 31 and it went all the way down to 18. If that kind of age range doesn't appeal to you, I don't recommend Mad Monkey. You are going to get people on the younger side. After traveling to 40 countries and spending money on countless travel experiences, I can genuinely say that the Ha Giang Loop is in my top 3 experiences of all time. Not because it has the best views, not because it's the craziest thing I've ever done, but because for 4 days, life becomes incredibly simple. Wake up, eat, ride, drink, laugh, repeat. Somewhere between the mountain roads, the 40 strangers that became close friends, the beautiful meals we shared together, I can easily see why people consider this a must-do experience. It's so much more than just a motorcycle ride through Vietnam. It's trusting a stranger, it's letting go, it's laughing with people that you just met and feeling more present than you have in a very long time. If you're on the fence, just book it.